Hello, this is Edwin Dearborn, another edition of Growth Driven. Today, I want to talk to you about how you can scale your qualified leads and your referrals. Hey, Edwin Dearborn here, another edition of Growth Driven. We all know that qualified leads and referrals are the lifeblood of any sales and business development endeavor. But how do we scale it? How do we scale the number of qualified leads and referrals that lead to appointments? I don't care how good your branding is, how good your marketing is, how good you are in whatever you do, you're only going to make as many sales as you have people in your pipeline that are qualified, meaning they have a desire to do business with you. They are financially able to purchase whatever you're offering, whether it's a 99-cent ebook or it's a $150,000 Mercedes-Benz. We all need a consistent flow of new leads and referrals. Upon inspection of most businesses, they don't know how to scale it. You ask them for their sales and marketing strategy, they don't have one. You ask them about their proactive process to generate even more referrals, they don't have one. And so it becomes, well, how do we scale this other than just working harder? So I want to go over what I know are the 3 Ps, letter P, the 3 Ps of scaling your lead generation, your qualified leads and your referrals. So the first one is the most obvious, paid advertising. Paid advertising allows you to put money into something and you can scale not only the dollar amount, from 1,000 to 2,000 to 10,000, but you can also scale it in terms of the number of platforms. So I can bring a lead to my website or my landing page, let's say through Google Ads, but they can also retarget them on YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. I can not only scale where I drive the business from, but I can scale the number of platforms in which I put my brand. So you can scale the number of leads simply by putting more money into it and placing your advertisements on more platforms. That's the first easiest way to scale. It's easy if you've got the money, right? But if you don't have the money or you have very little money, you're a solopreneur, you're a startup, you're an entrepreneur that works out of his house, you tend to be tight on finance. So what are the other 2 places? Now, yeah, if you're a big brand, you got a lot of money, you can write a check and you can scale that quite easily. But I know a lot of you out there are, you're hoofing it, you're sitting on the phone, you're trying to make things happen, you don't have a lot of finance. So what are the other 2 Ps that you can do? Well, it's presentations. I can go out and do a presentation live, or I can do a webinar. The software to do a webinar is quite inexpensive. So I can just go on Facebook Live, or I can, go on Instagram Live, and or YouTube Live. I can do a presentation. And if I keep doing presentations of what I do through educational content, how-to content, interviews, success stories, more presentations, more content, I can distribute that content, those presentations through email, through Facebook Live, and other means. And when I do more presentations, I generate more leads, I generate more referrals. I can also do live presentations. And very soon we're going to be, I'm delivering this April of 2021. So we've had some lockdown issues, obviously because of COVID, but there will be, I believe, a renaissance of live events because people want to get back to live events. And I think people are going to have a higher appreciation of them because they've been gone for so long. They're going to want to see live events again. So live events is an ability to do a presentation. You can get in front of groups. This start booking yourself as a speaker. You start doing presentations. You're going to have more referrals and qualified leads. This has been some of my best sources of qualified leads. What is the third one? It's partnerships. Any type of partnership where you can tap into somebody else's audience is a successful way to draw attention to yourself, generate qualified leads, and referrals. Partnerships can become very strategic, very profitable, very rapidly, and can turn into presentations in front of their group through a webinar or through a live presentation, going back to number 2. So number 3 can open the door to more number 2 presentations. Some of my favorite partnerships are doing webinars with other influencers, getting on podcasts with other influencers. Now, when they're interviewing me, which I'm going to be on one here in a couple hours, I get to tap into a larger audience. I'm partnering with other influencers and thus tapping into their business. Now they find out about me, they follow me, they ask me for service or quotes, etc., appointments. Now, there are some other ways to do strategic partnerships. Let's say you're a wedding planner and now the events are coming back. Well, you can partner with florists. You can partner with churches. You can partner with synagogues. You can partner with event handlers. You can do partnerships with all types of people that are targeting that same audience as you. And you go, hey, look, I'll refer you business if you refer me business. I want to become a preferred provider in regards to what I do. And if legally allowed within your industry, I know there's certain industries where it's, there's certain rules where you can give commissions or you can give splits on the business that they send you, referral fees. I know in the insurance business, the real estate business, the mortgage industry, this is, there's definitely regulations and you should be very well aware of the laws and follow those laws. But certain industries, it's completely okay to develop not only strategic partnerships, but referral fees so that they can make some money on the back end as well. Partnerships are great, incredible resources. And, what I tell people is, your best place to find these partnerships is right on your existing contacts in your phone or on social media. Most people do not ask or even suggest on social media or on phone calls, hey, do you see yourselves having a strategic partnership? How would that partnership look? What would make sense to you for us to partner together and make our work combined, and thus we both profit? So if that's difficult for you, you could work with a business coach that may help you develop that strategy of, what partnerships could you tap into? Moreover, you could work with a marketer like myself or others who could help tee up the opportunities for you to be interviewed by YouTubers, influencers, podcasters, and there's a chance for you to do a presentation through a partnership and thus generating more referrals, more qualified leads for yourself. The additional thing is what's great about all this content is you can repurpose that content, your interviews, your presentations, into blog posts, into email, into social media posts. There's so many ways to repurpose that. Again, reaching out to more people, and you can even use paid advertising, the first point. All three can work together. But again, you need to have a strategy in place for this to be a consistent effort for you to generate more qualified leads and more referrals. And one last point. I was speaking to a dentist a few days ago, And I said, what's your proactive process in generating more referrals? They don't have one. There is a big, big misconception about referrals that if you're just good, it's going to happen. They just happen on their own. But in fact, referral marketing is a very, very proactive activity. It's something that you can actually instigate to increase your referrals. And I don't suggest that you use monetary means as the only inspiration for referrals. There's many other ways to inspire people. Good content can inspire people to share your brand. Free webinars can be inspirations. Community services to show that you're active in the community can inspire people to want to talk about you. There are many ways outside of financial rewards to get people to desire to share your brand about you. And if you need help with this, please reach out to me, Edwin Dearborn. You can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. This has been another edition of Growth Driven. Hopefully this has been of help for you. If you need help in growing your qualified prospects and referrals, reach out to me and we'll talk.